Very good morning to all. Welcome to the webinar on values in higher educational institutions organized by IQAC, Mankar College. Beliefs about what is right and what is wrong. Values are gained from sources of life and play an important role in our life. Educational institutions play an important role in inculcating values in students from an early age. Today's webinar will focus on the need of value education, its evolution in India, global perspective of teaching value education, and the role of teachers in promoting the concept in the higher educational institutions. To formally begin today's program, I call upon our respected Principal Sir of Mankar College, Dr. Shukanta Bhattacharya, who conceived this theme and encouraged us to organize the event, to share his valuable opinion with us. Over to you, sir.
Uh, Thank you, Nima sir, and good morning and namaskar to all. Let me convey thanks to Professor Omiya Kumar Roth, not yet joined also, Advisor ICT NAT, and Swami Shastro Gananandaji, Principal of Ramkrishna Mission Residential College, Narendrapur. Sir, despite your busy schedule, you have kindly responded our prayer in joining this national webinar to share your experiences in upholding of values in higher education institutions. I am thankful to IQAC Mankar College, particularly Dr. Savanti Ghosh, coordinator, for organizing this seminar. I am also thankful to all other teachers, non-teaching staff, and participants' friends. We know that NAC always upholds five core values likely to be followed by all higher education institutions in India. They are contributing to national development, fostering global competencies among students, inculcating a value system among students, promoting the use of technology, and quest for excellence. It would be beneficial if our eminent resource persons focus on how to inculcate a value system among the students. Hope this national webinar emerges as a trendsetter in Indian higher education institutions. It could have been more befitting if we could extend hospitality to our renowned resource persons by inviting them in our lush green campus. But the current COVID-19 situation does not permit us to do so. Hope next time we will be able to invite you, sir, at our campus. Have a good day, sir. Namaskar.
I thank our Honorable Principal Sir for enlightening us with his words of wisdom. With this, we begin today's webinar. Our first speaker, I call upon him, Swami Shastroghanando, Principal of Ramakrishna Mission College, Autonomous, Narendrapur. Without further delay, I call upon Sir to kindly share his views with us. Over to you, sir.
Namaskar. Kindly accept my heartfelt regards and namaskar. I am really grateful to you that you have invited me to share my views and experiences on the theme that you have chosen today for discussion. Professor Roth, I hope, will join soon. But apart from that, I'm seeing our respected Principal Sir of Mankar College, respected Coordinator Madam of Mankar College, Coordinator IQAC Madam, and other respected faculty members of Mankar College and other institutions, students, staff members, dignitaries, well-wishers, and participants. It goes without saying that values education play a very vital role in building up the capacity of an individual and also the institution. It is also important to note, especially in today's context, that apart from catering pure academic teaching learning, purely academic educational activities, all over the world, the academicians, the educational philosophers, the institutional administrators are seriously thinking to chalk out some plans which will deliver some core values to its stakeholders, not only students, but also to the teachers, for the administrators, policymakers, everyone. It is thus really now becoming a significant point for pondering over that whether values education will form a separate course, syllabi, or it will be something that runs with all the activities of the institution. Should it be a separate class? Should there be a separate class for teaching value education? Or should there be a holistic approach in inculcating values among the students and other stakeholders? Should there be an orientation program specifically designed to cater values, to discuss on the values, to find out the procedures for practicing the values? Or should there be an institutional totalitarian manual that will envelop all the values within its system, within its practices, within its day-to-day activities? You see, what we have felt or what we have seen through the passage of time in our human civilization, that all the vidya, the learning, all types of vidyas, knowledge or learning systems, have two distinctive compartments, although they have the interlinking among themselves. Two compartments, no doubt true, but they have their own link road between themselves. They are not water divided compartments. They have the links among themselves. One is the theoretical approach to a subject. Another is an experimental and an experimental approach, a practical approach towards the discipline, towards the subject. Hence, when we think of values education, what I feel that we should try to incorporate these two approaches in framing this values education curricula. You know, in our ancient India, there was Gurukula system. What does it mean? It meant that the students would stay with their gurus, the acharyas, the teachers. Why should they stay with him? Why did they stay with their teachers? They could come from their home and go to their school or tolls and could have their learning. Many of them are, in fact, nearby residents, even at that point of time. Still, Gurukula education was there. What was the objective? If we go through these Gurukula education as depicted in the ancient books like Upanishads or Puranas or in our epics, the anecdote, in anecdote time, these have been written. We will find that students are coming to gurus, to their teachers, praying to have their education, particular education, but at the same time, they are doing some works with their gurus. And to some extent, as sometimes I lightly tell my students, that you see those gurus were to some extent harsh, cruel, within quote. Why? Because in our home, when we stay home, we stay with our parents. Parents are always affectionate. They always do all the works for us. Oh, don't go to bring butter. Oh, you are today a little sick. Please stay home. I will bring your food. Everything, whenever we face some constraints, some troubles, physically, mentally, academically, parents are there to help us in such a way that they put us in the Kohitur mango type cage. You know, Kohitur mango is a very precious one. You will find it in Malda especially. And I have seen they pack this Kohitur mango in such a way that a slightest heat should not be there. There should not be any slightest extra touch. If it is there, the Kohitur mango will start getting worse. So it is like Kohitur mango pattern, I tell, that generally we parents nurture our children in our house. But these gurus were a little harsh. They would tell them, no, go to the forest, bring those things. You see, he has come from a well-off family, but he is going to the forest, bringing woods for his guru's work, for their hostel, Gurukula hostel. They are washing their plates, all the utensils. They are cleaning their Gurukula Vidyalaya, the school, the premise. All the things they are doing by themselves. Even when their friends become sick, they are serving. Even when their gurus fall sick, they are serving. It means apart from your academic training, you are bound to have some other trainings which will create some core values within you. Self-reliance. This is my work, this is my dress, I will wash it. In many houses, I know, our students do not wash their own clothes, garments. They give it to their parents or to some washing houses. But even in the room where they stay, they don't clean that. People are there. People are engaged to clean these rooms. They don't clean their utensils after taking food. These are very unique things, you see, that we have developed in the process of the progression of our civilization. It's really unique. But in those Gurukula system, in those days, students were destined to do all these things. There's no other way. Who will wash their garments? Who will wash their utensils? So these are the core values they will incur. Apart from the core discipline of learning, the knowledge for which he was sent to his guru's house. So naturally, in those days, values education was such an integrated process that the gurus or the teachers could train their learners through the entire process. But despite that, there were scheduled lectures, classes, when the teachers should discuss these core values. There is a need to discuss. Why? You see, I can tell any of my student, you should become truthful. You should become honest. Student will ask, what do you mean by honesty? What do you mean by truthfulness? There are situations when my truthfulness may create some damage for a person, for my friends, for my known people, or even for unknown people, whatever it may. There are stories, anecdotes, incidents, plenty of this life, you know. So, you see, these core values we need to discuss. What do we mean by truthfulness? When we will face the challenge of keeping this truth, sustenance of truth, sustenance of honesty, we should not be jealous. How can we overcome our inherent jealousy? You see, we tell them, you should not be negative. But they will tell, seeing all these things in outside world, we will become negative. But can we do otherwise? So when we discuss the things in the classroom situation, questions come up. Questions come up in the form of questions come up where challenges are recorded. Rather, challenges come up in the form of questions, in the form of discussions. We, the faculty members, we, the administrators, we, the teachers, we, the non-teaching staff members, face some concrete challenges while upholding some core values in our lives. Now, some of us have been able to overcome it. Some of us have failed to overcome it. Some of us have been struggling to overcome it. Why have we failed? Why have we won? Why are we struggling? All these things should be discussed. This discussion, this classroom situation is something where we in fact share our experiences, share our views, share our opinions, interact with others. And through this process of interaction, sharing, we learn. We formulate newer procedures to face the challenges. So this is what we think, that classroom situation, even the course-like, curriculum-like things, even some orientation program-like things are really important. I think you have seen that UGC, within last 2 or 3 years, they have formulated a pattern of orientation program for the newcomers, for the freshers. But what I believe, it's very good, no doubt it's very good. The attempt is really very good. But what we think, that values education, even the discussion on the values education, cannot be such that will end within 1 month or 2, within 1 year or 2. Rather, these deliberations should continue in every month, in every week, through the passage of the entire program. Even ourselves, when we meet together, we, the faculty members or the administrators or the non-teaching staff members, when we meet together, we should have these deliberations. And this will form the curricular activity, the curricular training. That is the theoretical part, as I have told you at the outset. Now comes the practical part, the implementation part, the experiential learning. You see, this is another aspect where perhaps sometimes we lag behind. You know, just other day in some other discussions, I was mentioning this. That, I think all of you know very well than me that in our Company Act, there is one concept, CSR, Company Social Responsibility. That is the industrial social responsibility, where the industrial houses are mandated to share a percentage of their profit for the welfare, direct welfare of the society. And thus, different welfare, societal welfare activities are being conducted. There is a new concept has also been developed following this. It is called ISR, Institutional Social Responsibilities. Here, institutional means these academic institutes. For a long time, all the academic institutes, its policymakers, its administrators, its faculty members, its students, everyone thought that the main objective, the principal aim of an academic institution is only to sustain the academic activities, classroom teaching, research activities, etc. That means the academic activities the institution should have run will be confined within the four walls of that institution. It was the concept. In the last couple of 100 years, we have nurtured all the academic institution, be it an IIT or a college or a university. Their activities are confined within the four walls of the institution. Through the publication or patenting or technology transfer, they are outreaching, no doubt true, but that outreach is also based on their academic pursuit, which pursuit they have done within the four walls of the institution. But gradually, we have started thinking that should an academic institution keep itself imprisoned within the four walls, or rather it will open the gate. It will open up its confines. Hence, we have seen this ISR has thrived. It was there even in the post-independent period. NSS and NCC were adopted, but still, that was very much routine-like activity. Now, something more is being demanded from the academicians, from the learners and teachers, from all segments of an academic institutions. What are these types? You see, I have an academic institution. And if I feel myself at the center of a geographic location, I can stretch out my hand, formulating a 10-kilometer diameter. And I may try to go every house, every corner of this 10-kilometer circle, 10-kilometer diameter circle. I can go everywhere. I become being an administrator, being a faculty member, being a student, I can go there. I can talk to the people living there. I can learn what difficulties they are facing in their life. If we go to the village people, we will find some of them are not having proper food. Some of them do not have mosquito curtains. Some of the children are going to school but not learning anything. Some of them are trying to go to school but they don't have the sufficient materials. Such and such we may get. If we come to the urban area, we will able to see there are people living in the urban area with all facilities, but with an utterly loneliness feeling. His near and dear ones are no more with him. His or her near and dear ones are no more with him or her. Parents are living aged, having no children to look after them. Children are living somewhere else. It is a global village. The term global village is really fascinating. But the global village is such a village where children live thousands and kilometers away. Parents live alone. Who will take care? Even for taking their physical care, people are there. But who will look after them? Who will take care of their mental health? We can reach out. We can go to the cancer patients. We can go to the colonies. There are so many pockets are there. Pockets are where academic institutions, its students, its teachers can reach out. And these practices will teach us that how the values are to be nurtured within us, how values can be deployed, values training, values education can be deployed in the day-to-day activity of an individual. I am taking food. I have the surplus. Can I share this? I have plenty of books. I have the surplus. Can I share these? So you see, these are the values that can be practiced, that can be even experimented. And we will see, even while experimenting this, as in the case of science or literature or psychology, you see that in many cases, even learning theories, we fail in the experiments. We have learned the theories very well, but when we try to put it into the practice, when we go to the lab, when we try to make it in the experimental pattern, we fumble, we can't do, we fail. Same will happen in this case. In the classroom situation, I will lecture relentlessly with some sublime words, with an emotional voice. How should we become selfless? What is the dire need of selfless service? I can lecture. But when I will be sent to a really downtrodden's house, a needy people's house, and I will be asked to serve him selflessly, I will look at my watch. Oh, my time is being wasted. I have some work in my house. I have some classroom classes. I have some studies. These will start quarreling within myself. I have lectured in my classroom. I have deliberated. I have shared my views. But when I am trying to put it in the lab, the great lab, the grand lab of the society, I will face the real trouble. So, the experimentation is also required. I have started my lecture and I told that values education is undoubtedly significant. Values education, no doubt, draws the best attention in today's academic scenario. And what I feel, that the values, if we really try to inculcate in the society, we should try to have both the segments, the theoretical segment and the experimental segments, in our institutional planning, institutional curriculum design, institutional activity format. And no stakeholders should be kept outside the border of the of this type of values education. Theories should be discussed, deliberated. Then many problems will come. Some will be solved, some will remain unsolved. Experimentation is also required, where we will be tested whether our theoretical learning is complete or not. With these few words, I once again convey my sincere regards to our principal sir, all the distinguished faculty members, other staff members, other participants. I have some just an emergency meeting, so perhaps I will not be able to listen to Roth, Professor Roth. He will be coming soon, I think. I convey my best congratulations to him too. And once again, I convey my heartfelt regards to all the participants and Mankar College fraternity for organizing such a very beautiful webinar. Had it been so that the things are normal, we could go there, and that will be certainly a more interesting experience. Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable opinion with us. Now, Shravantidi, I think our next speaker hasn't joined us yet. So what do we do in that case?
Sir, I have just made a contact with Dr. Roth, but he didn't reply.
Avanti, Avanti,
Yes, sir.
please convey vote of thanks to Swamiji.
Okay.
Sir,
I'll just,
sir, should we wait for Dr. Roth or just conclude this part?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think yes,
Better to
yes, sir.
conclude this part.
sir, before
Okay,
we
sir.
convey our vote of thanks, there is a question for Shamiji that has been asked.
Okay.
If I may,
If
sir,
Swamiji
with your
permit us
permission.
to question him.
No, it's just on the basis
Okay.
of what he has illuminated us on. So it's
Okay,
only on
okay.
the basis of that.
Right.
So here goes the question with your due permission, sir. Is student success a mission critical philosophy for higher education institution, or should student success be owned by one or a few functional areas? What should the campus structures that support student success look like?
Kindly repeat the question. because it
Yes,
is
sir.
not clearly audible. Uh, please, for the internet connection, there is a problem. Kindly to, repeat it.
Yes, sir. Most certainly. Most
Uh,
certainly.
sure.
Is student success a mission critical philosophy for higher education institutions, or should student success be owned by one or a few functional areas? What should the campus structures that support student success look like?
Thank you.
Yes.
You see, first point is, what do we mean by student success? To me, clearly enough, student success, I always mean not only the success that a student earns in their exam, in all the 3 year or 6 semesters exam, or getting chance in some reputed institute, or being placed in an industry or a government service. This is one part of his success. I always try to discuss with my students, and I would prefer that this should be the attempt of all the academicians. That student success should include his academic achievements, his characteristic achievement, his behavioral achievements. That means the holistic success should be the aim for every student. And the institute should also try to help the students to earn this holistic success. In the process of achieving this holistic success, some may get a better positioning in his or her academics. Some may obtain a better something in some other aspects of life. But most important thing is this, that we we should always try to treat the success of a student in the holistic term. A first boy of a school or a college, if does not behave properly, if he is a selfish one, he or she is a selfish one, if the student is always full of jealousy, full of greed, I do not feel that this first ranker has achieved any success. Hence, the institutional academic infrastructure should be built in such a way, in this coinage, this academic infrastructure, institutional academic infrastructure should not only include its building or laboratories or libraries. The infrastructure should also include all the patterns an academic institute should develop to make a learner holistically successful in her or his life. So the institutional planning, the institutional ambience, institutional activities, the management deployment should be should be done in such a way that a student, a learner, will be able to accrue the best things from it that will enable her future life or his future life as a real successful individual. Here, real is within quote that means that holistically developed individual personality. So success cannot be measured. Success should not be measured only based on the job placement, progression in academic institution in its disciplines. It is a part of that. Other things are also important. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir, for those words of wisdom, and that was enriching, very enriching. And now I would like to move on to our next phase. It has been an enriching experience. So now I would like to call upon Dr. Shravanti Ghosh, Coordinator, IQAC Mankor College, to offer vote of thanks to Shamiji. Over to you, Shravanti.
Yes, actually, it's really my privilege to be asked to propose a vote of thanks of the session. Though we know that one of our distinguished speakers, Dr. Professor Omio Kumar Roth, has still not joined with us. We are still waiting for his presence. But I, on behalf of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Mankor College, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks and my regards to our very honorable principal of Ramakrishna Mission Residential College, Narendrapur, Shami Shastroganando, for sharing his valuable thoughts. Thank you, sir, for enriching us, and thank you for your excellent presentation and making this webinar interesting and meaningful. Shamiji has really taught different aspects, especially for us. We teachers are really sometimes very confused that where to start and how to start. He showed us a pathway that how in a holistic approach and also in practical approach we can inculcate the values in our education system. He has also talked about the ISR, that is institutional social responsibilities, and if we can conceive the total process of thought of value education in our educational system on behalf of us, the teachers, and also for the students, I think we can do a good in thinking of this kind of thoughts and incorporate all of this thought in a holistic approach in our education system. So thank you, sir, for your gracious presence with us and for your thought-provoking address. Thank you. Regards and pranam for me.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Namaskar.
Okay, Ross. Thank you very much. Avanti, let us conclude this part.
Okay, so I suppose that Dr. Roth is somewhere very busy and he cannot present with us, but hopefully we will have him in our such kind of discussions also in future. So I would go for the formal vote of thanks, and on behalf of IQAC Mankor College, I would like to extend my hearty vote of thanks to my speaker. I would like to extend my regards and sincere thanks to our respected principal of Mankor College, Dr. Shukanta Bhattacharya, for his initiative and inspiration for organizing the webinar. I convey my hearty thanks to all members of IQAC for their moral supports and guidance. I must mention the contribution of Joint Organizing Secretary of the webinar, Dr. Mimasha Pandit and Dr. Arijit Bhattacharya for their enormous and sincere effort to make the event successful. I am happy to extend my vote of thanks and my regards to all of my colleagues, all teaching and non-teaching staff of Mankar College who have made this webinar a grand success. I would like to thank my beloved students for their participation. My sincere thanks and regards to all participants in the webinar joining on online platform. I extend my thanks to Mr. Srikanto Boshak of Creative Mart for providing us technical support. Once again, I thank all of you for your cordial cooperation. Thank you all.
Is Sikanto? Hello. Sikanto আছো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার বলুন।
আচ্ছা বলছি যে ওই যে প্রথম যে ছেলেটি জয়েন করেছিল একটা ইয়েতে ওই যে
স্যার আগে রেকর্ডিংটা কি বন্ধ করে দেওয়া হবে?
হ্যাঁ রেকর্ডটা বন্ধ
ইউটিউব স্টপ করে দেবো?
হ্যাঁ আর ফিডব্যাক লিংকটা একটু প্রোভাইড করে দিন।
আর বলছে যে মানুষ হাজারি
এক মিনিট স্যার।
স্যার অসুস্থ কিনা বুঝতে পারছেন?